Pilot Street 2 tires. Are they any good? Yes, they are. So the tires we talk about today are Michelin Pilot Street 2 tires. The size that I have on my bike are the 130 by 17 by 12, so they fit on a 12-inch rim. They are a big tire. The very first thing that I noticed is the width. The width of these tires compared to the stock tires that I have, even though they were the same size, the same dimension, these are elongated on the edges. They are elongated, and there's a lip on the outside of this tire right here. The width on these tires are insane. I mean, basically, I can barely fit my whole hand around it. And there's barely any clearance room with the shocks and my brake line fitted on this bike here. And because of that width that you have available to you, you can lean. You can lean so far in these tires comfortably, and you can feel it stick to the road and just hold you in place no matter what angle you're at. Whether you're scraping your kickstand or about to scrape your exhaust off the ground, you can put these tires so low to the ground that your bike will make contact with the street before these tires even slip out. The amount of comfort that these tires give you with just the extent of how wide they are is a beautiful thing. For a 12-inch rim, these tires give you what you're looking for. And these tires are tall, and I love that about these tires as well, because my standing height on my bike has increased and my ground clearance as well because of how tall they are in the middle. And there's a deep curvature from the middle of the tire down here to where the edge of the tire is. You got about this much of a height difference, and that's great for corners when you push through it, because you do have to push through it, being that this tire is wide and it has a sort of flat spot in the middle that you have to push through. You have to have comfort in pushing your bike around the corner, because this bike does feel not heavier but beefier with these tires. You have to push into the corners to allow it to get on the sidewall like this. The tread pattern on these tires also have a ton of functionality, and there's a lot of little things put in here. A lot of thought and effort to make this tire grip in all conditions as well, because this is an all-condition tire. It is not just for dry season, it is not just for winter season, it is for everything. It's an all dual sport tire. One, these tires are really thick. If you look inside of the tread, there is about a half a fingertip of length of actual tread that is in there, and it progressively gets skinnier as they go along. But there is a lot of longevity of these tires because they really put a lot of tread in between the road and the tire itself down here. I think that's cool. Also, if you look at the tire itself, along the center line where most of your contact with the road is, this tire is relatively flat. It is a smooth surface in between with these grooved edges for water and debris and things of that nature, but mostly it is just flat. So when you're going in a straight line or you're just leaning a little bit, you are going to have a lot of contact with the road compared to having brief contact with these treaded patterns on the side like this. Also, in the center here, it is a slightly harder compound because this is where the majority of the contact is made on the road with your bike at all times, compared to the softer compound on the edges here for when you get into the corners, and it allows that rubber to grip on the road. So it's slightly harder and more durable in the middle here, but it gets to a softer compound on the edge to allow you to grip up on corners. That's thoughtful. And they are tubeless. They're tubeless, and their max capacity load is 584 pounds at 45 PSI. I like to run it a little bit lower personally. 40 is what I usually run it at, but holds up to 45 PSI, which is good, and a maximum weight of 584 with a tubeless tire. Pretty good. So with all that wiggle room that you have, the downside to this is that you do need to push through that flatness of the tire. Compared to the stock tires that I had on this bike previously, when I'd go to get into a corner, it would respond. But with these tires, because they are a little bit wider, there's a flatter surface on top, as you've seen. So when you go to get in the corner, you have to teach yourself the confidence to just throw it into it, because it is not that responsive when you're just sitting on it in a straight line and going to the corner. You have to lean into it. But once you lean into it, boy, does it stick. So there's a little downside, but nothing you can't work around. So functionality and performance is fantastic with this tire. Yes, they are big and you have to push through it, but once you achieve that, it is worth that extra comfort and support that you have, hands down. But the cost of the tire. So these tires were the first tires that I've purchased that came in a pair. So from factory, from Michelin, you have to buy them in a pair, a front and rear tire together. So the total cost was $257 for the front and rear tire, but I could not purchase them separately. So I don't know why they did that, but maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. But from Michelin themselves, from a dealership, I had to buy them together. $257 was the total damage. I've had these tires running on this bike for about a month now. I wanted to wait a little bit of time so I could give an honest review of these. And so far, I don't have too many complaints. The only complaint is that push-through process that you have to get used to, but they even look good. They look real good. I love the way that they're pointed and angular like that, and that flat surface, kind of like reminiscent of slicks almost. They look good, they feel good, they're kind of pricey, but you get what you pay for, and I would recommend getting these tires for sure as an upgrade. These have a long longevity life. These are rated 4.9 out of 5, almost every review that you look at everywhere else. But from personally riding these tires for a month now, I will further confirm that these are worth it. It is worth the upgrade, it's worth the purchase. Get it out the way, get it done, and you can expect some long life with comfort and a little bit of style with these tires here. I also wanted to say that these tires are readily available. I was looking at Pirelli tires at first, and they were just out of stock for months at a time. Michelin is always a reliable source because they know the deal. They know the deal, they know that they make a good tire and that people want them. And so I was able to get them quite quickly. It only took about 3 days to be shipped to the shop that I ordered them from. So I really appreciate that. Overall, these tires are amazing. I don't think I would switch to any other tire. I'm in love with Michelin. Michelin is a fantastic company. Comfort, support, style, they know exactly what you want and they deliver. So thank you guys. I hope this helps somebody make a decision because I was on the fence about a few different things about this, but these are good. These are super solid. I don't regret it. Michelin, they do a great job. I've never had a problem with it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be around. My bikes will be around. Till next time.
Peace.